Mega Man fans, it is time to rejoice! It has been 8 years since Mega has been in an all-new adventure, and that's a long time to leave one of the most recognizable characters in video games on the shelf. Sure, there have been re-releases of the originals and the X series, but I think we can all agree Capcom has been doing the Blue Bomber dirty for quite some time now. Most notably by canceling Mega Man Universe and Mega Man Legends 3, which, needless to say, I'm still pretty salty about. But Capcom has finally seen the error of their ways, and they have graced us with Mega Man 11! Haha! Nothing can bring me down now! Hold on a second. I haven't actually played the game yet, but it couldn't possibly be bad, right? Oh man, let's hope for the best, and let's check out Mega Man 11.
Mega Man 11 was developed by Capcom and released on October 2nd, 2018, celebrating the Blue Bomber's 30th anniversary. And if you played one Mega Man from the main series of games, then as far as the story is concerned, you've played them all. It's always the same song and dance. A bitter codger named Dr. Wily tries to take over the world with 8 robot masters. Mega Man 11 does give a little backstory with a dream sequence into why Dr. Wily and Dr. Light dissolved their partnership decades ago. The two scientists had differing opinions on the direction of the future of robotics. Wily stressed a fast and powerful robot with his double gear system, while Light wanted robots to have independent thought. If you compare the two ideologies, it's Light that kinda seems like a mad scientist, because when have sentient robots ever worked out for mankind? The dream of his past reminds Dr. Wily of his double gear invention, so he steals 8 robots from Dr. Light, soups them up, and makes them the new evil robot masters. Dr. Light sends Mega Man to stop them, take their powers, and of course beat Dr. Wily, only to let him escape and do it all over again in the next game. If I were Mega, I would have put Wily in the ground 10 games ago, though the ending of Dr. Wily using his plan B of begging for forgiveness is hilarious. Mega Man games have never been known for a compelling narrative, and 11, for better or worse, is no exception. Which I don't mind as long as the gameplay can win me over. That setup leads to the classic Mega Man formula. You get 8 levels to choose from, and you can take them on in any order you like. At the end of each stage, the Robot Master is waiting for a fight. These 8 bots have special abilities, and once you defeat them, Mega Man absorbs their power and adds it to his arsenal. Each power you get will then be a weakness to a different Robot Master, if you can figure it out, and that makes the next boss fight a hell of a lot easier. Though you can beat any of them with the standard Buster Shot. The power-ups are what set Mega Man apart from the standard action platformer, and if they're exciting to use, then you have a really fun game on your hands. While the Robot Masters here aren't too creative, I really like the powers 11 has to offer. The ones I used most were Blockman's Block Dropper, which is helpful for hitting enemies too high to reach, Blastman's Chain Blast for those annoying enemies that seem indestructible, and Bounceman's Bounce Ball because I love the chaos it causes on screen. Torchman and Tundraman's powers didn't get a ton of use for me, and I think I've seen similar power-ups in the previous games. After the 8 main levels, you take on Wily's Castle for more intense platforming, boss fights, and 2 battles with Dr. Wily at the end. So far, no huge changes. It's a standard Mega Man game, but that's a good thing since it's been so long. The major addition to Mega Man 11's game mechanics is the double gear system. This allows Mega Man to have his power amplified or have his speed increased for a short burst. If you use it for too long, you'll overheat and be unable to use these boosts for a period of time. This little addition made the game way more enjoyable for me. Though I appreciate the series a lot, I'm not the best at these games, and they can be notoriously difficult. And sometimes it runs the fine line of being cheap as hell with enemy placement. But the double gear system makes things a bit easier when you need it. What can also make things more accessible for those who are crummy at these games like myself is that you can choose between 4 different difficulty modes. If things still seem hard, there are upgrades to buy such as faster cooldown time for your double gear powers, automatic buster charger, or an upgrade to make more health drops occur. And now you can buy items in a shop like energy tanks for health and weapons, which I always had trouble finding in the previous games. These are lifesavers, and it allowed me to beat frustrating sections and continue the fun rather than rage quit. All of these are welcomed additions for beginners, but they aren't forced upon the expert players, which is great for both. Other new additions include a slew of challenge modes. After you beat the game, you can add some replayability with time attacks for levels and boss fights, a mode where you must try and limit the amount of jumps or buster shots, boss rushes, and a whole bunch of other trials. The best scores and times are posted on the worldwide leaderboard, and you can actually view video of the best runs. This is super cool to watch the best players in the world take on the challenges, because the skill is impressive, but it also can show you a way to beat a part of the game in a way you never thought of. And for you achievement hunters out there, Mega Man 11 has plenty of hidden records to complete if you want 100% the game. When Mega Man 9 and 10 came out, they did away with the graphical changes of 7 and 8, and went back to the simple 8-bit look from the NES days. Mega Man 11 said, screw all that, I'm doing something different. And I think that was the right choice, because the 8-bit throwback look was getting a bit stale. 11 has a 2.5D style. The backgrounds are highly detailed, and the design of Mega is really nice. My favorite upgrade to the graphics is now when you get a Master's Power, not only does Mega's color change, but he gets a costume too. It makes it a whole lot easier to remember which power is which. The Robot Master designs feel a bit samey, as if you've seen them before, especially Torchman, who's my least favorite. But the whole presentation looks awesome, and it was a much needed change of pace. To me, the weakest link of Mega Man 11 is in the sound department. The music from these games have always been my favorite part, and there have always been at least 3 songs in each game that are absolutely impossible to get out of your head. Crash Man, Cut Man, Air Man, Shadow Man stages, those are all insanely catchy and memorable tracks. But here I can't think of a standout song. I was partial to the title track, but nothing rocked my socks off, which is disappointing when you think how legendary the Mega Man music is considered. Maybe it'll grow on me, but as of now I find it generic and boring. The voice acting, however, was especially amusing. It's all lighthearted and jokey, especially since the Robot Masters all had punny quips they'd sling at Mega Man during battle.
Hit the bricks!
Assault and battery!
You want to dance? Feel freeze!
I love me a good pun, and these Robot Masters had them by the barrel full. With only a few missteps, Mega Man 11 fits right in with 1 through 10, while also introducing new mechanics, modes, and a fresh coat of paint. This is the rebirth that the series needed, because it's been the brunt of abuse and jokes for the last decade, and hopefully it will usher the Blue Bomber into a bright future.
Mega Man 11 gives you everything you'd expect from the main series, and a whole lot more. Though it's not my personal favorite Mega Man game, it definitely ranks among some of the best. The $30 price tag is fair, especially with all the extra modes. And if you're a fan of the franchise, I'm sure you've already picked it up. But if you're new to the series, this is a great place to jump right in, because I think it's one of the most accessible Mega Mans to date, accommodating both beginners and the hardest of hardcore. And hopefully we won't have to wait another 8 years to see the Blue Bomber in action again. What do you guys think about Mega Man 11? Let me know down in the comments below. And if you disagree with my review, that's okay, because remember, it's all fun and games.
Thanks for watching, everyone. If you liked that video, click the video link down below to watch my review of The Messenger for the Nintendo Switch. And if you like It's All Fun and Games, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Thanks again.